Eric Clapton didn't earn the name Slowhand because he played gently. He earned it the hard way, one aching note at a time, across decades of obsession and endless hours chasing ghosts. Blues ghosts, guitar ghosts, the spirits of men who played like their lives were on the line because they were. Clapton listened, studied, worshipped, and learned their language by heart. He never wanted to be the loudest guitarist in the room, only the truest. While others showed off, he dug deeper, chasing one perfect tone that could say more than 100 quick ones. His favorite records weren't about fame or flash. They were chosen because they hurt, because they healed, because they showed what a guitar could reveal in honest hands. Behind every Clapton solo live, these 7 albums, the ones that taught him patience and fire, silence and truth, they weren't just music, they were maps, sermons, and survival guides. 7. When Clapton first heard Freddie King, lightning struck. Let's Hide Away and Dance Away was pure instrumental electricity, no singing, just guitar conversations spoken in tongues only bluesmen understood. Freddie mixed pick and fingers, building a tone that was fat, aggressive, and alive. Every note meant something, every bend had a reason. Young Clapton wore out his copy, trying to learn the code. Freddie's playing was sharp, soulful, and perfectly balanced between grace and violence. This wasn't background music, it was revelation. The guitar was no longer accompaniment, it was confession. Years later, when Clapton's Les Paul screamed through John Mayall's Blues Breakers, you could hear Freddie's DNA in every phrase. King didn't just give him a favorite record, he gave him a voice. 6. Robert Johnson frightened Eric Clapton in the best way. When he found King of the Delta blues singers, the music sounded like it came from somewhere beyond this world. Scratchy hotel room recordings from 1936. Haunted by loneliness and brilliance. Johnson's voice felt ancient. His guitar played bass, rhythm, and melody at once. Crossroad Blues sounded like a man bargaining with his soul. Hellhound on My Trail crawled with dread and beauty. Johnson sang like someone who had made peace with pain. Clapton realized that this wasn't performance, it was survival. No band, no tricks, just one man and truth. It taught him that sometimes the quietest sound carries the greatest power. 5. Clapton called Live at the Regal the greatest live blues album ever recorded. It captured B.B. King in Chicago, 1964, turning the Regal Theater into a church of electricity and grace. B didn't play fast, he played wise. Every phrase had space to breathe. His guitar, Lucille, didn't shout, it spoke in full sentences. Songs like How Blue Can You Get turned pain into poetry. Clapton learned the most crucial lesson. Silence matters. The pause between notes is part of the solo. B could hold an audience in the palm of his hand with just one bend, one smile, one sustained note that refused to end. 4. When folk singer dropped, fans expected thunder. Instead, Muddy Waters gave them rain, quiet, steady, and impossible to ignore. The King of Electric Blues unplugged, stripped the sound to its bones, and let the truth speak for itself. Clapton listened, stunned. Power didn't need volume. Songs like My Home is in the Delta and Good Morning Little Schoolgirl proved that restraint could be the sharpest blade of all. Decades later, when Clapton sat down for his own unplugged session in 1992, Muddy's spirit was there whispering that sometimes taking everything away reveals what's real. 3. When Clapton first heard the band's music from Big Pink, it changed him. No grand solos, no egos, just 5 musicians in total trust. The weight moved like scripture, Chest Fever built slowly to joy, and I Shall Be Released felt like redemption itself. For Clapton, this record killed the guitar hero myth. It showed him that greatness didn't have to shout, it could listen. The band made music where every part mattered equally, where songs, not solos, came first. That realization ended Cream and birthed Derek and the Dominoes. From Big Pink, Clapton learned that humility could sound divine. 2. The first time Clapton heard Jimi Hendrix, he didn't just listen, he reeled. Are You Experienced shattered the rules of the instrument. Clapton, already crowned God by graffiti, suddenly felt like a beginner again. Hendrix didn't play guitar, he conjured it. Purple Haze sounded like the future. Foxy Lady dripped with danger. The Wind Cries Mary, whispered in Technicolor. Jimi used feedback, pedals, and chaos as art. Clapton was terrified and liberated. Hendrix proved that boundaries were illusions. After this, Clapton stopped trying to be anyone else. Jimi gave him permission to sound like himself. 1. Before everything, there was The Wolf. Moanin' in the Moonlight hit Clapton like a thunderclap. Howlin' Wolf's voice was pure power, growling, howling, utterly human. Songs like Smokestack Lightning and Evil weren't performances, they were exorcisms. The guitars snarled, the rhythm stomped like heavy boots on wet dirt. Wolf didn't care about polish, he cared about truth. For Clapton, it was a revelation. Music didn't have to be pretty to be beautiful. The Wolf taught him that blues wasn't about how you played, it was why you played. Eric Clapton never stopped being a student. These 7 albums taught him everything that mattered. Technique means nothing without soul. Speed means nothing without space. Fame means nothing without truth. His guitar sings because these records taught it how.